Hi guys, LianneJennifer here again with another video of Seduce Me, Sam's Route. So let's continue where we were. This one. Yeah, so we didn't really help Sam with the front garden. But we did some tai chi with him and we fell on him. So the hour of the house party had arrived. In my mind, I kept double and triple checking the essentials for the party. Knowing my dad, he invited the business partners and the exclusive of the Anderson Company to show me off. I stood in front of my mirror in my room, staring at my form as million thoughts ran through my mind. It was just a housewarming party, but at the same time, it wasn't. It was my chance to show my dad that I was better than his expectations. I don't think that would be hard. Well, his expectations are extremely high, but I don't think he has a high opinion of you because he is an idiot. It was a chance for me to see my parents as a woman. It was a chance for her parents to see her as a woman, I think. It was my task to see if I was really ready to live on my own. Well, not truly alone. I had the incubi to thank. But even so, I didn't have my dad guiding me or my mom helping me through living alone. A knock on my door broke my thoughts, surprising me. Who is it?
Hey, are you okay in there? Your parents should be here soon, so you should hurry getting ready.
Okay. Well, I'm ready, but...
But what? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out.
Alright. Oh, it's so fitting, their clothes. Well thought out. The pink dress for Naomi and then this cool, I don't know how you call that in English, vest or something with Suzu. It's very good, very well done, and I like the dress putting on me. But what?
Dude, you look hot. Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
Well, I stole it. I had it for a while. I never had the chance to wear it. I figured I might as well bring it out now. I stepped out of my room and closed my bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall to the grand lobby, the incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed in the nines as proper servants.
Whoa, they really know how to dress well, don't they?
They do. They do. I like them all. I like Matthew's with the blue. And then Eric's, it's all red. It's not my favorite, but he looks good. Then James, he has the same thing as Matthew, in yellow. Then Sam, I like the band around his stomach, the green thing. And Damien, yeah, he's the most boring of outfits, but it's just suit, because he doesn't have an extra color, I think. I think his color is gray. So yeah. But he isn't gray, he's awesome, but we're doing Sam's route today. Alright. Yeah. I was slightly taken aback on how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had the poise of a perfect gentleman, even Sam. I slowly began to climb down the steps with Suzu and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. I felt my face slightly flush, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked me down the final step, smiling.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
Thank you.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go for it. I can do this. I had to be confident in my skills. My dad expected a lot out of me already. If I faltered at this party, who knows what he would think of me? I had to assure myself in every word that came out of my mouth that I was ready. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on the cue, the doorbell rang. I gulped. I could practically feel my dead aura from behind the door. I'm gonna get myself a drink. It's on the counter of the kitchen, but I have to get it because my mouth is getting dry. So much talking all day long. Here I am again. Taking a sip. Yes. Ready again. Ready for this party. Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents, both dressed in their best. Looking good, Mom and Dad. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Oh my, I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
Ah, yeah. And I'm gonna fuck one of them. Or not. You can choose in this game if you get good ending, if you wanna have sex with them or not. I really like that part of the game, but we're not there yet. Maybe I don't even get a good ending, who knows?
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
Yeah, who would deny good service? I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't ask for verification or anything. I looked to the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intensely at my parents. Were they using their powers on them? Absolutely, girl. Or else they would never accept what had happened. They had to be. There was no way to be okay with this otherwise. Exactly.
I guess the servants counted as belongings to the house.
I guess so. My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It had only been a couple days, but living away from the ones who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit.
Gorgeous. You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
Yeah, look at me, Dad. I look awesome. I looked to my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. Of course he is. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me. When he did, he let a small smile graze his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
The world around me stopped, as my heart pounded hard in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me? On his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words. I was beyond speechless. Don't spit at the screen. Don't do it. I'm so glad I don't have a camera. Let's go. Thank you, Daddy. However, his cold face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
Of course they are. My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
I don't want to. I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I was just thinking about it, but these people are very important people. People with busy schedules and things like that. And this man called them yesterday. Like, yeah, my girl's giving a housewarming party. Can you come, like, tomorrow? And they all like, yeah, sure. Yes, sure. Maybe they don't have life outside of work. Something like that. But that just strikes me as odd, you know, with people who have things to do. I don't know where I left off. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked to the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for encouragement. Can you see it? Like, she's talking to her parents and her friends are standing behind her. Behind her. And they're like going like, yeah, you go girl, you can do this. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden, the main hall of the lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook my hands with the many officials and exclusive members, putting on the professional face my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and handshake. Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say. I hate that. But I do get it. In some situations you know that is for the best. Although I am debating right now because I'm choosing Sam's route. Because Sam is he says what he thinks and he does what he wants, without thinking about the consequences. He's so impulsive. So I'm thinking about doing this section the worst it can be. By being a badass. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna do that though. I don't know if there are consequences on that. I don't think so. Okay, let's do this. I'm not gonna go completely nuts, but just try to answer honestly. I think that would fit the most with Sam's route.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age? Oh, where's my mouse? I don't see my mouse. Where it is? Why don't I see it on the screen? Oh no! I don't know what I clicked. Oh no. Thank you.
Do you have college plans?
I don't know what happened, but the mouse wasn't getting on my screen, so I missed that. I don't know what the first one, what I pressed. And the second one was a man who said, sorry that your grandpa died or something like that. Do I have college plans? It's kind of up in the air. We'll see. I felt like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me. They were about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
Depends on who runs it, I guess. But I really do think so.
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
Excuse me, a what for policy? Philanthrop. I'm going to look it up after, at the end of this screen, of this video. If you want to know what it is, at the end I will do it. I hope I don't forget. It's okay. I'm thirsty. I'm going
Do you think
for
the company
that.
should expand from just toys?
It's a toy company. Why? Eventually the question stopped and I was back to being by myself. Naomi and Suzu were mingling in the crowds and the incubi were doing their jobs. So I was all alone in a room full of strangers. Yeah, it can be lonely in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly though, my mom pushed her way through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
Oh, hello, Mr. Orange. I like you too. He looks good. With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet me. I don't know what I was trying to say, man. It went like blank in my head. In case you didn't notice. So obvious. Place your hand in his. As I placed my hand in his, he raised it to his lips and kissed over my knuckles. Alright, do you think that's a bit, intimate? I felt my face burn slightly at the gesture. Andrew smiled at me before releasing my hand.
I'm honored to be invited here.
Well, I didn't invite you, but you're welcome. My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew? She wants us to be a couple.
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh appropriately before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
Okay. Yeah. It happens. Huh? Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You've helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
So, I missed a lot of money because of that. That was not very nice of me. Sorry. Oh, wow. I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rather personal questions. I looked to Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off, and I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something, whether it was good or bad. I was not able to find out. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense. Yeah, I would become tense if that man looked at me. Ooh.
So, you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly. Whether it was fear or insult, Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
So that's what he was hiding. He's competition for a job I don't want. But competition, I guess. Well, I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO? I thought the vice chairman wanted the position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
Yeah, David. Jeez, man. It's a party. Lighten up.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people. No, we're not gonna follow him in. Ellie? No. We're gonna stay put. He needs his space. I watched as he disappeared into the crowd towards the back of the house. I was worried, but I gave him his space. He obviously needed it.
Peh. He's not CEO material.
God damn it. How do you decide that so fast? You haven't seen him work, right? Just because he got nervous around you, you say he's not CEO material? I don't think a lot of people are CEO material then. I would just get angry around you, man.
That's because you practically interrogated the young man.
Look at the face of the mom. It's so good. It's so good.
A little questioning shouldn't have bothered him. He's obviously not ready for any title in our company.
I bit my tongue. I didn't want to make a scene with my dad. One wrong word and he lectured me in front of everyone. That was not something that I wanted at my housewarming party. I let out a sigh before looking at the clock. It was getting close to midnight, meaning that the party was going to end soon. Yes! I lowered my gaze out the window and saw a limo pull up. Huh. Whose limo is that?
Oh, that must be Lewis's car.
Lewis's car. Jealous much, Mr. Anderson?
I'll go get him. Stay with your father so you can escort your guests out together.
Yes, Mom. My mother left my dad and me slowly escort the guests out. My dad held his simple smile and he thanked each person for coming. I did the same. Andrew quickly passed the door before I could speak. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, my parents, and the incubi were left. My dad looked at me in slight disappointment. Well, yeah, I don't blame you this time, dude. I didn't do my best. I looked back at him in confusion. What did I do?
I overheard your conversation with our guests. You were stumbling as much as Lewis did.
So what? I don't want to be CEO of this company. But
I don't want to hear excuses. I expect that you'll work on your speaking skills while you remain living here.
Yeah, I will talk to myself all the time. Yes, sir.
All right. Your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Like, I would stay up every Saturday night. Come on, man. Sleep is important. Oh, right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party.
I didn't see them at all. I mean, what were they doing, man?
We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
All right. Right. See ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Will do. All 4 of my remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase, exhausted. Phew. That was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
She handled herself the best she could.
Thank you, thank you.
As expected, Princess.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Sam is not a big cleaner, I see. Well, they were so fast. Come on, man. They would do it in a blink of the eye, and I would be up all night just cleaning from the party. So don't me, Sam.
Hush, Sam.
Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long to find you little shits after all.
I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice from my dream echoed through the air into my ears. I looked around, panicked, alongside the incubi James. Alongside the incubi, James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
Pretty sure. All of us shut our hands towards the door, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight I would have never expected to see. Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold piercing into mine, roughened up clothes and a pistol in his hand. Sorry, I saw a monster. Well, he's not looking too bad. I covered my mouth to not scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck, and he smirked at me and the boys around me. Beside the red-skinned man was a similar-looking woman in matching thug's clothes.
Oh, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
Well, I would have hoped not.
I hoped you would, you piece of...
Sam did hope so. All of a sudden, the man raised his gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. Oh no! We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet. God, come on! A bullet run through Sam's face. But...
What the fuck?
What?
What should have been a headshot ended with a loud but empty blank shot. The pistol echoed in its empty shots as the man grew more and more pissed, pulling the trigger over and over in aggravation. Luckily, for my ears, it became quieter after its first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
I don't know.
This place is protected.
What did you say, Shrimp?
This place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Ah!
The man growled and threw his gun at Sam, who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple of times before sliding further away, hitting the wall in a final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into black flames and disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malix.
Well, that's the first I heard about it. Malix. That was his name. His existence resonated in my memory from the dream I had. However, I looked to Matthew in the same confusion as Malix did. This place is protected by magic?
It would seem that your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around this house. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
Convenient. Malix's face grew to that of an extreme anger, his fight tightening as if he was crushing a stress ball. I love stress balls. Yeah.
Then what's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malix and the boys. Why would you do that? With no power, Malix wasn't going to fight. I took the chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like I was in the dream, okay? Because of that. Fuck off. Why not? Malix suddenly laughed wildly, staring at me in disbelief. Oh, look at his eyes. Great.
Whoa! Who let the bitch out of her cage? What is this? A reverse harem or something?
Something like that, but not completely like that. Malix grinned at me evilly, walking close to me. A duck! I ducked underneath Malix's incoming hand. I stared at his hand and his black flame tattoo in surprise as I took a couple of steps back from Malix. Matthew and Damien stepped in front of me, guarding me from Malix with their arms.
A quick one. I'm liking you more and more.
Cannot say the same about you, Malix. Sorry.
Back off, Malix!
Don't start acting tough, you pathetic excuse of a demon. You need more protection than her.
Poor Matthew.
Shut up!
Oh, did I make the little Matthew cry? Why don't you just grow a pair?
Enough, Malix.
The woman, who had been standing in silence the whole time, planted a firm hand on Malix's shoulder. Malix looked back at her with a growl and a glare that could kill.
Since when did you get the guts to speak out of place?
We both know you've never controlled me. I want them dead just like you do. But now's not the time.
Fuck off! I know what I'm doing.
I don't think so.
Do you? Even if you did fight them, there's 5 against 2. We never win.
Smart girl.
Shut up!
Let's go, Malix! We're wasting our time!
The two growled at each other. If they could have used their magic, I could sense the fire would glow from under their teeth. Malix grunted and glared at the boys. He pointed at James, wanting so badly to use his finger like a knife.
Just wait, pretty boys. We'll get you and fuck you up real good.
Okay. Then Malix turned to me, moving his finger to point directly between my eyes.
And don't think you're safe. Step outside. I dare you.
Calm down, mate. Ik vind dat I dare With that, Malix and the woman walked out of the mansion. The doors closed behind them, leaving the boys and I alone once again. I felt my knees give out from under me, forcing the boys to quickly turn to catch me.
Whoa, whoa! Are you alright?
Oh, thank you, Sam. I'm good. Yeah. Why was he here?
He's been closely tracking us. Our blood trail from the forest must have led him here.
We should have stopped him and finished it here.
For once, Matthew, I agree with you.
I stood up and rubbed my arms, feeling the goosebumps Malix left behind on me. I couldn't stop myself from shivering in fear of his words. Malix? Was he a demon?
That son of a bitch is not a demon. He's a devil.
He's the devil. A devil? There's a difference?
Yes. Demons come from a different plane of existence called the Abyssal Planes. Devils, however, come from one of the 7 circles of a place humans know as hell. Despite us not being human, we are very different creatures.
We actually have brains, for one. Devils always like to cause trouble and try to kill or torture others for their own enjoyment. Demons, like us, know when to use our powers and when not to. We're not stupid.
But to think about it, they're in our world, so the devils that have red skin look like monsters are in our world and the humans never saw them? Then? I mean, what?
Devils follow orders from higher-ups in their order, and their power only comes from their connection to hell. Demons all have free wills and don't rely on where they came from to use their powers.
This was all so confusing. Demons and devils and magic all existed, and I happened to land in the middle of it. What do we do?
You're safe. You've been protected as well.
What?
What Damien's saying is that the magic that protects this place also protects you.
Your grandfather must have cast it when you last saw him or something of that nature. We can sense its aura around your body.
I couldn't believe my ears. It was the 3rd day of surprises, and this one took the cake in being the most surprising. I felt my head spin once again. What did I get myself into?
Miss, please don't worry. We'll find a way to train ourselves and become stronger to finally finish this feud.
I'm gonna kick his ass right now!
Until then, we'll protect you as much as we can. If Malix comes back, we'll be here for you.
But what about going outside? Won't he?
Like we said, you have a protection spell on you. Even if Malix attacks you, he won't be able to use his magic on you. He'd be just like any other human you can fight back against.
Didn't you say you knew Taekwondo?
I did. Didn't you see me duck? Well, yeah. I felt somewhat relieved that I was mostly safe from Malix. Still, I could not help but feel very nervous and apprehensive about the future. The boys were safe here to train and become stronger. But what if Malix did the same? Even more so, I was lost about how my grandfather knew about magic. I had to find out. At least, I had time. I went to bed that night feeling nervous. Despite the words of the incubi, I felt like a target to something I'll never be able to explain or prove. Magic? Devils? Demons? How did this all even happen? Should I really meddle with the situation? They are only staying until after they defeat Malix. That's right. They said they only stay until after they defeat Malix. After they defeated Malix. After that, my life could go back to normal. Temporarily insanity, as Kay would say. Who's Kay? Haven't seen her yet. The question was then, would I want them to leave? If my life went back to normal, then I have to care for the house all on my own. I get to focus on my life instead of being distracted by the boys. I have to. My life. Where was my life going anyway? I was under pressure from my parents. Well, you're dead. With only my friends and the boys to comfort me. Without the boys, I have no way to hide from my responsibilities. Enough. Let's just sleep and deal with tomorrow when it comes. Defeating my sense of thought, I forced myself to sleep, unsure of what tomorrow had planned for me. Hopefully, whatever the future had for me, I would be ready for it.
I promise to be with you forever. You're so important to me.
I swear I'll give my life to you.
Please, let me love you.
I'll be by your side, always.
I can't imagine living without you.
I want to be with you.
I love you.
Oh, this is a nice dream. Give me this dream every night. I slowly opened my eyes, letting the voices of my dream echo in my head and force me awake. I rubbed my eyes before sitting up and looking at my clock. 7 a.m.? Why am I up so early? I fell back onto the bed and closed my eyes, trying to go back to sleep. However, something kept me awake. Why? It's too early to be even alive. I agree. I love to sleep in too. I gave up and sat up, staring at the fireplace across from my bed. A sigh escaped from between my lips before I threw my legs over the side of my bed. What to do at 7 a.m. in the morning? Make some coffee, work on homework, explore the house. Well, let's explore the house, why not? I mean, we're living here for a few days now, let's just see what this house has to offer. I decided it was a good idea to wander around the house. I never really explored it much as a child. So she didn't explore as a child? I mean, it's such a child thing to do, to explore the surroundings that you are in. But maybe there were rules or something. So there were bound to be new surprises. Welp. Come on, feet. Let's go on an adventure. Yay, Dora the Explorer. I stood and exited my room, hoping that the boys were still asleep. I began to wander the halls on my end of the house, opening each door to find what room each door led to. Quickly, I found an old office, a desk and chair set by the far side of a desk and a chair set by the far side as a large bookshelf of documents and memorabilia. Whatever. I know what the word means, I just can't pronounce it correctly. Don't know. Donned it nooks and crannies. There were a couple of pictures of me growing up peeking from the shelf. I walked further into the room. I don't believe I've been in here before. I tried to recall memories of ever seeing this room, coming up with nothing as a result. This room was new to me. Did I want to disturb the furniture? I'm curious. I gently opened the shelf and any drawers I saw in the room. In a couple of them were books and even sewing kits. I assumed they were used for my grandfather's toys, so I left them alone. One drawer, however, was locked, no matter how many times I pulled. Come on! Open! Nothing. It would not budge. The drawer beside it, though, did, revealing a laptop. Why is there a laptop in a drawer? Why not? He keeps his place clean. I lifted it from the drawer and carried it over to the desk and chair, opening it. It was a high-tech laptop with a retina scanner as a padlock. I was not sure whether or not to try to unlock it or not. Yeah, let's try, man. Why not? I decided to try. I turned on the computer and leaned my face near the retina scanner, lining the camera up with my eye. To my surprise, I heard a ping come from the computer before the screen opened to a desktop. Look at that. On the desktop there were documents and folders, labeled with different aspects of the Anderson company. Taxes, profits, bylaws, products, the list went on and on. If I really did want to become the CEO of Anderson Toy Company, I had everything about it at my fingertips. Dad would sure be impressed. One icon, however, stood out from the rest. Forago? I double-clicked the icon, but no window came up. Instead, I heard a large click from the drawer that was locked. Ooh, secrets! What the? I slowly left my seat and walked over to the drawer, attempting to opening it again. It slid open smoothly in the direction of my pulling hand, revealing 2 books. One was a plain black journal with a tie to keep it closed. The other was bound in leather with cryptic symbols all over the cover. I took out the journal and skimmed through it, seeing my grandfather's notes. They were all detailed explanation and opinions on the findings of demon magic. So, grandfather knew about demons. Great. He really did know about magic. Sorry. Taking a sip. I sat down at the desk and read through the journal further, finding drawings and sketches of symbols and magic circles. Each with had their own different meanings and effects. It was all fascinating. There was even a page of important spells to know. I read through them, trying to memorize them into my mind. I don't know what came over me, but I started to feel more energetic and more powerful simply reading my grandfather's notes. I was suddenly aware of the energy that surrounded my body and the power that was around the house. The more I read, the more powerful I became. However, my mind suddenly froze and I found myself walking back to the drawer, putting the book back and closing the drawer. The lock reset and I snapped out of it. Huh? What? I shook my head and closed at the drawer. Not closed, man. And looked at the drawer, realizing what I had done. I walked over to the desk to reopen the lock, but suddenly felt the need to stop. Something held me back, and didn't want me to pry any more than I already had. I was curious beyond belief, but I obeyed my thoughts for now. Eventually I would come back and look into it. I returned to bed, feeling the weight of the morning drag me under my covers to try sleeping again. I had energy, but I wanted more sleep. It was Sunday and nothing was happening today. Come on, eyes. Back to sleep. I shut my eyes and tried to slow my breathing. I looked at my phone to check the time once again. It was noon, yet it felt like I slept for much longer. Why is time going so slowly? I sighed, got changed into normal clothes and went out to the main hall and sat on the stairs. Sundays were very boring. I love Sundays. Just nothing to do. Just chilling, watching a movie, playing a game. Nothing else in life. It's beautiful Sundays. However, the muffled sounds of battle caught my attention. Huh? I quickly went out to the backyard in response to the noise I had heard. In the yard were all 5 of the boys, practicing fighting. Sam was in the middle and the other 4 surrounding him and throwing punches and kicks at him. Sam, being the strongest of the bunch, blocked and dodged each almost masterfully. Hey! All at once, the boys looked over. The boys looked at me, frozen in their movement. I just stood at the doorway, staring at them after my outburst. James was the first to break away from the group, stepping towards me.
Good morning. We apologize if we woke you up.
No, it's fine. I've been awake for a while now. I'm sorry I interrupted.
It's quite all right. We needed to stop anyway. We don't want to overwork Sam.
Oh, come on, I can handle more than those pity punches.
Your mind seems grateful that we've stopped.
Burn!
Shut up, Damien.
Oh crap, we should probably make some lunch. I'm sure you're starving.
I can handle lunch if you like. You all seem to be very busy training to beat Malix. I'll take care of it today.
Whoa, seriously?
No, it's a joke. Come on, of course. Yeah, why not? I'm not useless. I know how to cook and do other stuff too.
Well, no, I wasn't insinuating.
What he means to say is that we'd be really grateful if you could make lunch today.
No problem. As I turned to the kitchen, the boys went back to training. They seemed very determined to get better and to become stronger. Might as well make lunch today. It'd been a while since I cooked.